So it's time to talk about everybody's favorite subject, women who lie to destroy the lives of men because society, other women, and weak-ass men empower them to do so. Today's subject, slavery. No, today's subject, we're talking about possibly one of the greatest game development studios of all time, Blizzard Entertainment. If you guys haven't heard of Blizzard, they made hit games like Overwatch. If you haven't played the game, I'm sure you've seen the porn. World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Diablo, need I say more? And this company's been going downhill ever since they got all of the white men out of the studio. And how did they get all of the white men out of the studio? Well, a bunch of women lied and said that they were raped, and everybody believed it. So let's fucking talk about it. In case you don't know, all the allegations of sexual misconduct, abuse, harassment, and frat boy culture was entirely fake. The state of California even admitted that there was no evidence substantiating any of the claims. And that's the thing that's crazy, guys. Did you know one of the, I think there's like 3 crimes? There are 3 crimes in the entire world that you can be convicted or at least found liable for with no evidence whatsoever. Can you believe 2 of them are sexual assault and sexual harassment? Yes, you as a man can be convicted or at least held liable for sexual assault with 0 proof, testimony only. Can you believe that? A woman's testimony with 0 proof can ruin your life forever if you let her. Isn't that fun? All a woman needs to do is have a semi-convincing story with a political pushing judge, and you can be found liable for sexual assault or sexual misconduct. Very fun. The entire controversy around Blizzard was set up by California to force the company to stop hiring white men using Me Too allegations to strong-arm them. Guys, does this sound familiar? The Me Too movement was one of the worst decisions that we have ever made in history, followed shortly after by the Black Lives Matter movement, because people aren't using this to empower women. People aren't using this to empower black people. They are using this to falsely convict and to hold down white people. Are we going to wake up to this yet? Are we going to wake up to this? And you don't have to be you don't have to be a white person to care about this. You should worry that what can happen to one race can happen to you too. What can happen to one gender can happen to you too. You should be horrified where proof and evidence are no longer required to ruin your life, because if you don't stand up for injustice, injustice will shortly happen to you. You must stand up for those who are wronged, or when you are wronged, no one will stand up for you. And this is a absolute fact. I believe that emotions should not take the forefront. Facts and evidence are the only thing that matter. Some of the accusations were so bizarre and insane that they included theft and consumption of breast milk during work hours. Why are you bringing breast milk into your job? A rape room named after Bill Cosby. I'm sure we all remember that one, huh, boys? Why don't we go and pull it up? In case you're familiar with the rape room, there was a bunch of white dudes chilling, having fun, holding up an image of Bill Cosby for memes, and they painted it as a room where they would bring in women and rape them in front of Bill Cosby. Very interesting. Sexual harassment to the point of an employee ending her own life. Wow, faking suicide. What are they, Mizkif? All of these claims were essentially a theater performance over the fact that only 1 in 5 of Blizzard employees were women. They know we're powerful. They know we're smart. They know they can't do a job better than us. So what do? They lie. They call us sexual assaulters. Isn't it great? They abuse court systems to take our jobs because they realize they're worthless who can't make it the right way. So they have to lie to take you down. Welcome to America in 2026. As a result, Blizzard agreed to pay roughly $18 million in fines to set up HR hiring practices that would discriminate against white men, which, by the way, I love white men. As a proud white man myself, I understand that I am a S-tier class and I love it every day. Internal message between California Civil Rights Division officials show that the entire thing was a ploy to send a message to the industry to literally ruin video games. Do you want to know why all of our games are fucking gay? Do you want to know why all of our video games, all of our characters are ugly, fat, Mexican, blacks? Because welcome to 2026. We need DEI. People can't be attractive anymore. People can't be white anymore. People can't be straight anymore. Do you want to know why? Because Chinese propaganda has come to America to convince you that having a wife and kids is a horrible idea. People want to make you. China's birth rate is spiraling down, and they need the United States to match it because we can't fire nuclear warfare anymore. So how do we make other countries weaker? We make them gay, retarded, and convinced that continuing their legacy, continuing their bloodline is actually a good thing because they want us to be weak so they can bowl us over. You can call me crazy now, but it's the God's honest truth. Let's keep going here. It was so fucking fake that Brack and Kotick literally paid their own employees to stage a walkout. After Blizzard capitulated and announced it would discriminate in its hiring, the state walked back from a $1 billion lawsuit to a $55 million settlement and announced that all the allegations were false. We're going to read this with no interruptions, and then I'll weigh in. By 2021, Kish had perfected the shakedown model and predicted a new target, Activision Blizzard, the video game giant that owns titles like World of Warcraft and Call of Duty. The CRD sued the company, alleging, among other things, that it had discriminated against female employees and cultivated a frat boy culture, according to a criminal referral that was obtained, which filed by a group tied to former Activision CEO Robert Kotick. The pretext of the department's action was an earlier federal complaint, which concluded that charging Activision would send a message to the industry as a whole. We don't need to read any more. It's all fake. It's all bullshit because they want everybody to be gay. They want everybody to be ugly, and they want to replace anything that's actually good in video games. We got Chris Kalicki weighing in saying, even Jason Schreier admits in his latest book, The Cosby Suite was a fake nothing burger and Kotaku was full of shit. But the damage was done, and many great Blizzard devs had, in some cases, 20-plus year careers ruined since nobody wanted to hire problematic devs when it was all fake. Heartbreaking and infuriating. And by the way, guys, do we think that World of Warcraft is good now that all of the straight white males were removed? Yeah, let's be real. None of you guys have played it since a Legion or Battle for Azeroth. Let's be honest. Let's hear Asmongold's thoughts. Let's talk about it.
In case you didn't know, all of the allegations of sexual misconduct, abuse, harassment, and quote, frat boy culture were entirely fake, and the state of California even admitted that there was no evidence substantiating any of the claims.
Crazy, right?
The entire controversy around Blizzard was set up by California to force the company to stop hiring white men using Me Too allegations to strong-arm
them. There it is.
Some of the accusations were so bizarre and insane that they included theft and consumption of breast milk during work hours, a rape room named after Bill Cosby, sexual harassment to the point of an employee ending her life. All of these claims were essentially a theater performance over the fact that only 1 in 5 Blizzard employees were women. As a result, Blizzard agreed to pay roughly $18 million in fines and set up HR hiring practices.
There it is.
Practices that would discriminate against white men. Internal messages between
They paid $18 million just to get them to stop lying.
Between California Civil Rights Division officials showed the entire thing was a ploy to send a message to the industry to literally ruin video games. Wow.
Are we surprised? No.
How about that? That's crazy.
I
don't even know what to say.
They were found guilty on testimony alone, only clearing their names 10 years later. Isn't that fun?
Do you remember, somebody in chat said this, do you remember when I said that gamers are the most oppressed group in society?
It's true.
It's not women, certainly not women. It's not gay people. It's not trans. It's not disabled people. It's gamers. Gamers are the most openly discriminated against group.
White people are more discriminated and oppressed in America, more than trans, more than blacks, more than gays. And do you want to know why? Because they're the only race that you can be openly racist towards and everyone is okay with it. And that's the God's honest truth. And we all know it.
We're not Jews, it's gamers. we're having our spaces colonized, and they're getting mad at us for.
Here's the reality. They want to say, believe all women, believe all victims. No, you want to know what I believe, you bunch of retards? I believe in facts and evidence. And from this point forward, I suggest that all of you join me in partaking in the same mentality, because far too many liars have far too much power in this world, and I refuse to empower these people or fall victim to them ever again. Fuck all these lying ass hoes. And I hope all these bitches go to jail. Guess what? They won't. Nothing will happen at all. And that's the reality that we live in. And it makes me fucking sick. Like, comment, subscribe.